Welcome back. It's nice to see you again. Happy spring. It's officially spring now, even though we have snow on the ground here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Uh, the date tells us it's spring. It's March 25th. So even if our daffodils are waiting to break through frozen tundra. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about psychological safety. So, as you already know, I'm all about communities of practice. And in thinking about how to develop communities of practice, psychological safety comes up on the forefront of that. And it's interesting, when you think about it, what it might look like at home, we might already have that at home, and it's sort of in that sort of taken for grantedness stage. Like we know at home, we're accepted to be our perfectly flawed selves, sometimes in our holy pajamas on Sundays, sometimes with dishes in the sink, sometimes grumpy. And our family is still going to love us, right? We know that we're safe to be ourselves at home. But what does that look like in leadership and in the workplace? Well, one thing that I thought of is if it can be psychological safety can be created sort of in unconscious ways in our homes and with our families, then in the workplace and in leadership, maybe it requires more intention and intentionality to create a culture of psychological safety where our coworkers and teammates are able to feel safe in taking risks and making mistakes, because that's how we learn, right? And learning can be really messy, and we have to know that we're in a safe environment to take those risks and be innovative and try new things and nurture our growth mindset. Maybe that's why we struggle sometimes with a lot of fixed mindset in our workplace cultures, because people are afraid of negative consequences if they mess up. So creating that psychological safety, that it is a safe place to try new things. And they are recognized for their contributions and willingness to be messy. And because we are communities of practice, right? So that means it's not stagnant and it's not perfect. It's evolving. So, if you were to think about ways to create a culture of practice and a culture for psychological safety in your leadership, in your workplace, what do you think that might look like or sound like? So, I encourage you to reflect on that a little bit and maybe come up with 4 ways that it could look in the workplace. Um, what might you see if that was in place at work? What kind of communication might you see, or um, how projects might be running, those kinds of things. And then also including what it might sound like. So, the reason I encouraged you to discover and explore what it might look like and sound like, because when you do that, it automatically puts it in a language for developing action steps to apply it. So, what do you think psychological safety could look like and sound like in your leadership practice and in your workplace? I can't wait to hear more. I will attach a link for you on an article and see if their 4 strategies match yours or not. But let me know how it goes. All right. Thanks for being here again, and talk to you soon. Bye.